Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today, and I'm working on a new collaboration with my friend Christine, and it's the ABCs of scrapbooking from boys to men. So basically what we're doing is each video that we share, we will move through the letters of the alphabet. And today is the letter A to open with, and I am scrapbooking my teen boy, and I am doing an all about me page. So I do wish that I had started this when he was younger, and I could use this survey per se or questionnaire through the ages, but I haven't done that, so I can do it moving forwards. So I just have a recent photo of him, and I created this survey on my own and made this little questionnaire. I am going to do this with my daughter, who is 14, and that way I'll have a few more years of that for her at least. And so I will have that for free download for you if you are interested in using it. So the questionnaire is actually just the black and white part, and then I used some LE Studio stamps too. So for what's your favorite TV show, I stamped a little TV, and what's your favorite music, I did the music sign symbols, and I was able to do that in colors that coordinated with what I wanted to use for the layout. I have stash goodies here. I am busting through my stash. I have the Crepe Paper Cool Kid line, which is a boy line, and then additional embellishments that I have are Bella Boulevard, and I have both the Alex and the Addison in one box. That's in the orange iris box there. And I primarily pulled them because they are the brighter colors that I am looking for. So right now I'm working with the Crepe Paper Cool Kid goodies. This is stuff that I've just stashed over the years, and I stayed away from using it initially because I perceived it as being very young boy, and at the time Nicholas was probably 15 and wasn't really young boy, but I have sort of reevaluated how I look at things now, and I'm able to see that I can still use the embellishments. I can use the stars and the arrows and all of those fun things, but I tend to stray away from the very, I'm going to say, targeted embellishments. So for example, if you're working with a girly collection and there's princess stuff, I won't use that, but I could still use the stars and, again, the more generic things that come with this. So if you follow my videos, you know of the infamous Suzanna title shuffle. So I actually did get my spacing ruler out, my middle line ruler, and I'm trying to mix alphas here. So I have a Cocoa Daisy, old Christmas chipboard alpha, and then some really old Studio Calico chipboards. And I'm trying to mix both the red and that tealy color there, because the primary dominant colors in this layout are going to be navy, the teal, splashy yellow, and red. And so I thought I would mix them up to make the title work, but I wasn't able to. It didn't work for me, and so I'm going to kind of shuffle things around and keep playing with things until I find something that works for me. In the meantime, you can see here I'm frustrated with this, and so it's time to move to a different part of the layout while I kind of let that mull in the back of my mind and figure something out. So I've decided, you know what, we got to commit. We're committing to what we've got. We like what we've got so far, so I'm going to stick that down, and then I will have a better foundation to work from. So you can see in the beginning when I was describing the whole purpose of this collaboration, I actually had that photo overlapping the airplane paper, and it was off the edge, and I moved it onto purely just that airplane paper. And the reason that I did that was because when it was slightly offset, it divided the segmentations that end up occurring in my layout, and it ruined the alignment of what I was looking for. I'm looking for that frame. It got stuck underneath the back of the layout there, and so all of that shuffling was me looking for that frame. But back to the alignment of things. So when I work on my layouts, I like things to move in that visual triangle. You'll always hear me refer to that visual triangle. And then within that visual triangle, I usually have a line of direction that I like your eye to follow. And I like that line of direction to be consistent. So you'll see here as we get closer to me putting more embellishments on the page, that I actually ruin the line of direction. I have here kind of a very vertical line and then a very horizontal line. And I'm going to have in that top left corner both a vertical line and a horizontal line that intersect, and I typically don't like that. So I will actually off camera fix that, and I'll call your attention to that. But it's something to consider when you're designing, is what is that line of movement that you are creating on your page. So I am one to often cut up embellishments. I will often use tags and not use the phrases, as I'm going to do twice here. And frames, I always just use as layers, and so I can save the bottom half or the right-hand half or whatever it is that I'm not using for something else. So these are the other embellishments from the Cool Kid crepe paper that I'm going through. I'm looking for something. I can't remember. Oh yeah, I was looking for those transparent, the different set of Cool Kid collections. I really like these vellum embellishments that come with this particular collection. I wanted something heavier on that left-hand side to weight that whole strip of paper that is on the right-hand side. And so I got that arrow that's sitting on that yellow tag there. And then I'm going to put something down the bottom as well for that weight to go with the me, because that me is very heavy. I'm pondering how I'm going to finish this title, but in the meantime, I'm kind of shuffling through embellishments. So you can see that for embellishments, I pretty much end up sticking with stars and arrows and tags. And for a teen boy, Nicholas is 17, that is, it's appropriate. I mean, I could have used music, but he's not heavily into music, so it wouldn't have been reflective of him. But I think the stars and the arrows are perfect for this. I really like that vellum arrow that's on the left-hand side of the page, because I felt like with the white space, I love the white space all the way around that left-hand side, but again, it needed weight to balance that dominant piece of paper that's on that right-hand side. So I'm back to this title. Again, I have some really old Studio Calico chipboard letters, and I'm going to use that because that, while it's not quite the same bright yellow that I'm going to use at the top of the layout, it is a similar hue, kind of that mustardy color that brings a little bit more of the yellow down to the bottom of the page there. So I've got about and me, and now I need to figure out the all. Going to this questionnaire. What I really liked about this was that it afforded me the ability to, he filled this out himself because he can write, and it was interesting to have the answers there. And you know, you think you know your kid, and there's some things that you don't really know as well as you thought you did. So right here where I'm working in this top left-hand corner is where I was talking about having that horizontal line and the vertical line. So the yellow is very vertical. That blue page tab that says dirty is very horizontal, and they intersect and they're competing. Your eye is drawn to and just stays at that top left corner, which is not what I want. I want you to see the writing, or the quote-unquote journaling, as well as the photo and the title that says all about me. But when I look at this, my eye just gets stuck at those two lines that move into each other. So I am going to actually off camera move that yellow tag and put it next to the blue, and you'll see in the close-ups how that works much better for it. Actually, things go either all horizontal or all vertical in the layout, and they don't intersect per se. So I chose for the red letters, so I've got all of the dominant colors in the layout in the title, encompassed in the title, between the arrow and the weights of the different tones in the layout are down there as well, by using those Bella Boulevard old puffy stickers from Tuesday morning, and then these old Studio Calico letters, both the blue blue. That's not blue, black, as well as these sort of mustardy yellow ones that I'm going to use. With chipboard alphas, I like to actually, even with the puffies, I typically always put liquid adhesive behind them because so many times the weight of those letters when they're standing up in a page protector often pull off the page. And so I just like that extra added security of that. So that is pretty much going to wrap up the overall design of the layout, other than that yellow that I'm going to change. And now I have some Pinkfresh Studio things that I want to add. I'm sure as you watched the video, you saw they were sitting at the bottom of my pile of intended to create with things. I've also pulled some Ellie's Studio puffy stickers because I wanted a little bit more yellow scattered in the layout, and I know my Ellie's Studio stash very well and knew that I was going to be able to find that. So this is an asterisk that goes with that font, the Me font, and I'm going to put that near that all. And what I am actually going to do off camera is I am actually going to put a second one on the right-hand side of the page near that big star. That's actually covering up. I tried zigzagging over there to make the zigzag go with the stitching that's going to go in that blue vellum arrow down the bottom left, but my machine is not cooperating with me for some reason right now, so I used that second asterisk chipboard black to cover that up. So this is the Pinkfresh Studio stuff that I was referring to earlier. I like to use with older collections or papers. I like to freshen it up by pulling in some new stuff. And so this is some of the more recent Pinkfresh Studio from a scrap room kit that I'm just going to incorporate and inject a little bit more color and a little bit more current into this layout here. So you could see I used the chipboard thumbtack up the top left and a few other pieces scattered throughout. So these are the close-ups. Be sure to check over at Christine's channel. I'll link you in the box down below and see what she has to share for the letter A and whether she chooses to do a teen boy or younger boys, because she's got the gamut there. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them in the box down below. I look forward to seeing you again soon, and we're going to try and get these videos in on the first and third Friday of the month. So come back in a couple weeks. Thanks for stopping in today. Take care.